You want to build a bigger butt? You want to build big, strong arms, shoulders, muscle-bound son of a gun? You got to work for it.
This is the game of food.
This is the game of food.
We're helping real people get real results with delicious food. Real food. Live from Spencer's home studio, podcasting to the world. This is Game of Food. And here's your host, Spencer Frederick.
Today, I want to tackle muscle building because a lot of people want it. They tell me what their goal is, and it really aligns with strength training and muscle building on their body. And so I want to help you guys. If you want to be toned, you're going to have to do some strength training. Okay, cardio will take you only so far. It will aid fat loss, but mainly it's an endurance performance, and you're going to need to do the strength training. And that's what we're going to talk about today is how to build muscle. Girls, the highest request they have, to me, this is just my experience. I'm not talking about the world. I'm just talking about my experience. They ask me how to build their butt. They want a perky butt. Some of them want a big butt, and a lot of them want a round, kind of bubbly butt. They also kind of want legs. That is like a secondary thing that I hear a lot. And guys, their main focus is upper body. Broad shoulders, big, strong, muscle arms, and back and chest, yeah, they want, but really the focus is arms and shoulders for them. Either way, it's the same process. Guys, you should be doing certain movements, strength training related. Girls, you should be doing certain movements, strength training related, and that's what I'm going to go through today. I'm going to name this one something like Tactics, 5 must-dos to build muscle and put it on your body. So number one thing that you need to do is strength training. And you're going to have to be able to select some heavier dumbbells, barbells, plates. So if you're working out from home and you have 5s and 8s, you are limited. And in muscle building is going to be a lot harder. And as you get better, you're supposed to get more repetitions. You're supposed to put more weight on. So if you're working out at home, or it could be a gym, whatever. But if you're working out at home, you're going to have to purchase new dumbbells as you get better. Because the point is, if you do 10 push-ups one day, next week you need to see if you can get 11. You know, same. Guys, if you're doing bench press, if you benched 225 one day, the goal is to increase that. And all lifting, all strength training is that way. And so you have to do strength training, and then you also have to continuously add volume. Volume is the weight you did times the number of reps, and it has to increase. Because something I see a lot is people go to build muscle, and they kind of do well. They get a little bit of results, and then they hit this plateau where they just look like the same human for 4 years in a row, and they're consistent in the gym doing strength training. Well, they're walking in, they're doing the same weight that they did last week for the last 4 years, and there's not the intensity there, there's not the drive or the push to get better. So that's number one. Number two is adequate protein. So you do the strength training, that damages the muscle a little bit, little micro tears. I'm not going to go into the scientific terms. I don't like talking that way. It's boring. So then when you have these micro tears, you eat protein throughout the day, a certain number of protein, right around 1 gram per body weight or your ideal body weight. And that helps repair the muscle. And so having adequate protein is number two in importance because it's the other piece of it, strength training and then protein. Now, if your protein is low, can you build muscle? Yes, but it's going to be a lot harder of a process, a lot harder. So why would you go kill yourself in the gym, pushing heavy weight, increasing volume, going balls to the wall as hard as you can, and then you're not getting enough protein? Well, no, you got to get enough protein. Number 3 is adequate calories. And this is a common one. Guys, they do this. They eat too little. They're having salads and water, and they want to build muscle. Well, I can tell you this, it's not going to be easy for you. You're not eating enough calories. You have to think of it this way. If you are trying to add tissue to your body, you're trying to become a bigger human, you're going to have to eat more to get there, not eat less. You have to feed your body more material to assist you in the muscle building. Girls are the same exact way. They want to build their butt, so that requires higher calories, very likely, protein, and strength training. And what they do, because I've seen this when they sign up with me, is they want to eat salads and run around town doing cardio. You're not going to build a butt ever, or legs. Cardio is endurance. That's your number one goal. Strength training is, yes, you build strength, but that builds muscle. And you're going to need to eat a little bit more. More carbs. Yes, carbs are not the devil. Okay, so that's number 3. You need to be eating enough, adequate calories to promote muscle growth. Number 4, you need to have the correct form. So when you're doing your lifts, you want to make sure that you're targeting the right muscle. So if you do a bicep curl and your form is off, you're not going to be targeting the bicep as much as somebody else who has the proper form. They're going to get more out of their workout because they have proper form. So you want to have the correct form to target the muscle. It also helps you reduce injuries. So if you're doing it properly, you're less likely to get injured because you need to get to the gym. You can't go in there with crappy form, hurt yourself, and then you can't get back to the gym. Well, you're not going to build muscle if you're hurt and can't get to the gym. That's why correct form is on the list. It's number 4. You need to look this up on YouTube. You need to contact your coach. You need to Google it, whatever you need to do so that you can start practicing proper form. Number 5, you need to have patience and consistency. Muscle building, in my opinion, for most people, is a slower process than fat loss. You have to be very patient. You're not going to notice anything for a week, a month. But after 3 months, after 6 months, a year, you're going to be hooked because you will forever know how to change a body part like I do. I'm not the most muscular guy. I'm not the leanest guy, whatever. I'm not the strongest guy, but I know how to change a body part. And I know what it takes. And it takes a lot of patience. And it takes getting back to the gym. That's why number 5 is about patience and consistency, because I've had people ask me like, Spencer, how do I build muscle? It's just not working. And sometimes they were like members at my gym. So I could look up how many times they were coming into the gym, and it wasn't much. And so that's where I start. You know, if they were to ask me like, well, I can't build muscle, just nothing works for me. And I look up their usage and they're coming 3 times a week for 2 weeks in a row. And then it's like 1, and then it's like 0 because of, vacation or work got busy. And then they're back in the gym like twice, and then they're gone again. I can tell that person, you have to start at number 1. You have to do the strength training at home or at the gym. You have to get there. You have to do it. Consistency. You're not going to build muscle by doing number 2, eating protein, adequate calories, and you can't do the correct form if you're not even in the workout performing the movements necessary. Now, here's some additional tips to muscle building. I did not put supplements in the top 5 on purpose because they are not going to help you out that much. The top 5 that I listed are going to help you more than any supplement, unless it's like steroids. But I don't want you guys to do steroids or any pro hormones like SARMs and crap like that. I don't want you guys to do that. So 1 through 5 is going to be better. Now, supplements can give you a tiny little baby percentage. It can help with some recovery if it's a protein drink. It can help with some workout energy if it's a caffeinated pre-workout. And there are some others, but supplements are way down the list, my friends. Another tip that I have is measurements. Because you have to have so much patience, it is hard to see any difference in the mirror. Your friends aren't really saying you look that much different. You're going to need to measure your body parts, measure your legs, your biceps, measure your chest, measure different muscle groups so that you can see if you're making progress. Even if it's a tiny little 1/4 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch, hey, at least you're doing it and it's going the right direction. You just need to add time. So those are my additional tips that I didn't want to put in my top 5. Now let's answer this question. Why would you want to build muscle? This is probably the most important part of this podcast because people call me And let's say they're like they're not that big, or they've done a good job of losing quite a bit of weight, and they're like, I want to get toned. I literally want to get toned. And so if you want to get toned, this is the list to listen to. If you want to get toned, you're going to have to do less cardio and add more strength, and you're going to have to eat a certain way, and it's not always low calorie. I've never met or talked to anyone that didn't want to be more toned. Ask anybody, do you want to be more toned? Would you push this toned button? If it was in front of you, you push this button, would you push it to become a more toned person? And I've never met anyone that would say no. But your actions, for most of you, are not aligned with getting toned. Your actions are all in cutting carbs and working out really hard, trying to get a big calorie burn, and not focusing on changing the body part. Focusing on a body part growth. I hope this helps. If you do this, you're going to be so strong. You're going to be so muscular. You're going to be the most muscle-toned, upper body man and big booty girl you've ever seen. Spencer, signing off.